Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today, what I have for you is my weekly What I Have Been Warming video, and I do have the 5-bar bundle for further discussion of the holiday scents that we'll be releasing on October the 1st, which will be Sunday. And I do have a couple of non-wax products that were in my haul from last week, my bigger harvest haul, that I wanted to share with you that I thought were exceptional, and one little housekeeping issue that I think we need to talk about. So let's just dive right on in. So the first thing that I have for you today is I love the new Counter Clean in Scarlet Sunflower. This may be tied with Cider Mill for my all-time favorite Counter Clean scent ever. It is just the perfect thing in this product. It's really light, it's crisp, it's got the sunflower note, it has a little bit of apple, and it is refreshing, and it is very fall. So this is in our regular catalog. At the moment, we also have Counter Clean in Autumn Road Trip that is seasonal, that's in the Harvest brochure, and the holiday collection is going to have Snow-Kissed Cranberry in this, which I also think will be very nice. So I really, really like that, and I already bought more actually. So the other thing that I wanted to consider was the new laundry line, which is going to be washer whiffs and dryer discs and actual laundry liquid in the White Amber Antique. Now, I already talked about this a little bit over the weekend, that I thought maybe it wasn't going to be as strong as it needed to be, but as I'm using this tub, I don't know if maybe the scent sank to the bottom or what, but I'm starting to get on my clothes this really lovely, light, sweet, ambery kind of a smell. It isn't as classic laundry as, say, your Fluffy Fleece or your Jammy Time, but I really like it, and I pulled out a sweater this morning that was so good that I just have to have more of this, honestly. I wanted to wear that sweater. It didn't end up matching my outfit, but I wanted to wear that sweater all day and just sniff it. It was just delightful. So here's my housekeeping issue. One of my customers ran into a little snag this week with an issue that we sometimes have with fragrance oils collecting on the lids of some of our more decorative warmers. So I just bought this wonderful Harvest Bounty, which at the moment is out of stock. I will be checking to see if they're going to get it back, hopefully in a couple weeks, because I love this. For an element warmer, of course, number one, it's adorable. Number two, I'm liking the performance. I'm not going to put it at the same level as, say, a 25-watt ceramic warmer, but for the style of warmer, I think this is performing quite well. But here's the issue. You've loaded this with your wax, you've let it go for a while, you take the lid off, and here, I just washed this, so that's actually water dripping out. Here you can get oil collection from the wax, and I do have a little bit of staining from my dish because I'm using spice type scents a lot, and that just tends to do this to your warmer. You can use some soap and a sponge and scrub it, but this lid, if loaded with oil and you put it down on a finished surface, such as a painted armoire or maybe really nice wood like what I have behind me, you can have a problem because the oils can damage or stick to the finish. So what I am recommending with any of these adorable lidded warmers, the new Truck will have that problem. If you have the pumpkins that go in it, there are many, many warmers over the years that we've made, especially for fall and Christmas, that have this style. So just be careful. Maybe carry a dish with you or put this directly in the sink. Don't leave this, especially face side down, on some sort of a nice finished surface where the oils that can collect inside of this can eat away at something precious that you have in your home. So that's just sort of a public service announcement, and unfortunately one of my dear customers was struggling with an issue of that sort. You can always talk to Scentsy about it, but just common sense, be careful with this style of warmer and wipe those lids or put it on its own little plate or put it in the sink, and don't let that collected oil get on your furniture. So let's move forward into the most important thing, which is all my wonderful wax for the week. So I do have all 5 of the holiday 5-bar bundle bars to discuss. I have melted through, I think, almost an entire clam of each, but I do not know where my first clam of the cranberry candy cane is. It's MIA. I looked in my daughter's room. I've looked everywhere. I don't know where it went. So I just grabbed my second one that's completely full, but I did melt some. So Cherry's Jubilee, I already did kind of an in-depth review on this on Warm with all of these, but this is so good, you guys. Short-lived, hard-hitting, really good authentic cherry with a little bit of lemon and raspberry. If you like, what is the cherry one that's the closest to this? I'm drawing a blank now. If you like apple cherry strudel, if you like red, white, and berry pie, Take out more of the apple spice note that's in apple cherry strudel, and definitely take out the crust note that's in red, white, and berry pie. You get this wonderful, just bowl full of yummy holiday cherry goodness, and it is fabulous. Short-lived, but very nice. So I would definitely repurchase that. Then we also have Sleigh Ride. This is really good. It's a medium level, very nice blended sweet Fraser fir tree kind of a smell. It's fir boughs and definitely some cranberry, but it's not going to hit you in the face. If you don't care for super heavy tree, this might be a good bar to try because it isn't as astringent as some of our pine smells. It's not as heavy as some of our balsam smells. It's just a really nice fir tree scent. Very good. I had that in my pumpkin truck, and that warmer just really let that go for, I think, 3 days, just sitting there. And I would go kind of in the dining room where it's in the corner, nestled into the corner there on my little shelf, my little bracket shelf that has decorations on it. And it would just be delightful every day. So the next one is a Rum Pum Plum. Now, I've gotten through about this much of one clam, and I don't think I've started on my second one. This is a really delightful, medium level strength plum bakery scent. I don't know if this will get stronger over time. It probably will. I compared it to sweet plum pastry in the more in-depth reviews. You can go see those if you want. But this is pleasant all by itself. Like, it doesn't really need to be compared to anything else. It's a nice medium level bakery. The only drawback is it's not going to fill a huge room with vaulted ceilings. It will not do that, but it'll do a medium-sized room and a small-sized room very happily for a decent number of hours. It has not got the greatest of longevity, but most bakery bars don't anyway, so this is really good. Now, the one that is probably the strongest is Cranberry Candy Cane. This is strong. Maybe not blow the windows out strong for me. Some other consultants have been getting that, but it's good and strong. And this, for me, filled the room, and then it peaked at a certain point where I said, wow, there's a lot of strengths to that. And then it kind of tapered right back off. So at first you get the pomegranate and the cranberry along with the peppermint, and then those notes kind of die off, and eventually you get sort of a soft peppermint smell as this fades, which would probably be about 12 to 18 hours for me. Really, really nice though, especially if you like a sharp, clean peppermint scent, but you want a little bit of complexity, something more interesting, which for me, if you watch the other reviews, you know I'm not just a plain peppermint girl. I loved this. It's very, very nice. And the last one is Vanilla Barnwood. Now, this is probably going to be the bar where we as consultants have the most trouble agreeing. People are saying Cutie Pie Cupcake, people are saying Pacific Sandalwood, people are saying all sorts of things. My personal experience with this, since I knew it would probably be on the lighter side and people would be worried about performance of this bar, I used 4 cubes, 2 cubes and 2 cubes, in my Amazing Grace and my Birds of a Feather in my bedroom, which is one of the smaller enclosed spaces in this house. I put the 2 cubes and 2 cubes in the warmer, I turned them on and left it for 2 days. At a certain point, for me, in that smaller space, 4 cubes was almost too much because you got the wonderful wood, you got, for me, a lot of amber and the vanilla. And the citrus note that people are picking up, I'm mostly reading that as a warm, sweet amber. I'm really not getting too much of that Cutie Pie Cupcake or Fruit Loops thing that other people are getting. But I loved this. I thought it was just gorgeous. And it does have that same floaty, mysterious quality to me as Pacific Sandalwood. So I'm calling this the winter version of Pacific Sandalwood, and I'm sticking to it. I really like it, and it's definitely going in my club. So if you wanted to try this in a medium space, you might need 3 or 4 cubes and a couple of very good performing warmers, and I think you could get something out of it. Again, like the Rum Pum Plum, probably not put this in a high ceilinged, very open, difficult to scent space, but medium zones with good warmers, I think this will be okay. In my home, it's actually outperforming my expectations, and I really like it. Okay, now we're on to sort of the everyday and the mundane. So one day I was doing, because you guys know I like to do one bar in one room and another bar in another room that are similar, or alternate warmers all through the house. I only had one bar of an old Harvest Trio, which is apple cherry cider. I really like this at one time, a long time ago. I had it in my club. It's absolutely delicious. Really good, bright cherry and apple with a cider note similar to honey pear cider, but it's heavier because it's got the apple and the cherry, not the pear. So nice. That went for a whole day. And then because this is also now discontinued and I did not think it would be, so I didn't club it, one of my precious bars of Bright Cider Life. So this is a little bit heavier than apple cherry cider, but they're very similar. This has more of a baked goods note in the background. To me, it's as though you have the most delicious cup of hot apple cider and a little child holding a big cinnamon sugar donut where it sort of crumbles into the cup because they're still a sloppy eater. You know, if you've ever had toddlers, exactly what I'm talking about. And it's just this most delicious mixture of all those cider mill type smells. I love it. Apple Orchard Plus, that one right there where you go and you've picked the pumpkins and you've ridden on the hayride and all that. And I am kind of sad that it's not in my club, but I have, I think, 5 bars, so we'll just make it work for the next couple years. Now, here's a day where I had 3 or 4 different things going in different places because I was using up partial bars. So I had a couple of partial bars of caramel apple craze. This happens to be a full bar. I'm not sure how that ended up in my basket, but whatever. So caramel apple craze is current in the catalog. It's very strong. One of our best as far as sweet caramel plus fruit, and it's a boomer. So it's got vanilla in there too, and a really nice red delicious apple and gooey caramel, perfectly balanced, excellent throw. And then I used up 4 cubes of apple press in a couple of the different warmers alternately with the caramel apple craze. And this is just apple, but it's fall apple with a little bit of elegant rose in it. It's so pretty. Now, obviously, doing this on the same day as caramel apple craze, I bet that the rose note was rather lost to me because caramel apple craze is so strong, but it was very good red apple in the house all day long. And then I had 2 other things where I don't really know where I did these. I think in mini warmers. I pulled out some caramel sugar cookie, which this is so strong, you guys. Probably the strongest caramel bar I've ever melted, and a little bit of my caramel buttercream from Scentspirations last year. Now, the reason I didn't keep the caramel buttercream in my club is that it isn't great on throw, but I think this is the most beautiful caramel scent that Scentsi's ever made. It's super smooth with that vanilla buttercream base, and it is just yummy. So I put this in a couple of mini warmers to go and amp up the caramel from caramel apple craze, and then 1 cube in 1 mini warmer back in the corner of the Florida room. This caramel sugar cookie was going and going and going. This is such a strong bar. It has more of a butter sugar shortbread and almost like toffee chips or butterscotch chips. It's butterscotch I'm thinking of on top. It is assertive, it's loud, it's a little bit obnoxious to me, but in a mini warmer, it mixed very well in the air with the apple scents. It was good. So I think this is today. I am doing some warmers with Perk Me Up, and then I almost always do a caramel scent either direct mixed or in alternate warmers. I chose to do Frosted Cinnamon Roll, which is the current scent of the month. This was an alternate warmer thing that's going on right now. So Frosted Cinnamon Roll is in my fall fairy tale behind me, and Perk Me Up is all over the house. This is a very low-key, medium-level coffee scent. It doesn't throw super strong, but it's there. And then the Frosted Cinnamon Roll, you could smell a lot more of this, and this is just the most perfect bakery scent. It's not too strong, it's not too weak, it's not too cinnamony, it's not too vanilla, it's just right. And it was a very nice pairing with Perk Me Up. If you haven't tried this yet, please do before the month is out and the 10% discount is off. That is a great bar, you guys. Okay, another day. This was the loudest day scent-wise. So strong, but I was just in this mood. I was in this mood where I needed really, really va-va-voom apple cider. And the most intense bar in my collection of that is Mulled Cider and Spice, which I know is really a Christmas scent, but I was just feeling it the other day. So I grabbed this Mulled Cider and Spice, which is now discontinued. It was part of a holiday trio, I think 2 or 3 Christmases ago. This is like Cider Mill went to Cinderella's ball, and got this gigantic sparkly dress to go on it. So this has orange, it's got wonderful spices, and it has a very definite apple mulled cider presence, and it throws like crazy. I had 2 cubes of this that I put in about halfway through the day, and the next morning I woke up and it was still going strong. So then I put a couple more cubes of this in another warmer, and to match its strength, I used Mandarin Moon in the rest of the house. And at one point I thought maybe I'd kind of overdone it because there was so much cider and spice in the house. Even I was having a little bit of trouble with it. So Mandarin Moon's in my club, and this is one that is a really nice mixture of orange and fall spices, and it has sort of a spiced cider note to it too, but orange rather than apple. Very good. So that was probably something that the neighbors could smell when I was melting those that day. Then another day, I got out a really cozy pairing, which I would encourage you guys to try because both of these are in the catalog currently. Winterberry Apple Tea is a very popular scent that over the years I have learned to like better. And the new one, Make Me Snickerdoodle, all by itself, I wouldn't say this is the most exciting bar in the world, but alternate warmers, the Winterberry Apple Tea is more astringent and it's more spicy. And this is cuddly in a very low-key way. These two really paired very well together. You probably could even mix them, but I just did alternate warmers. So the cranberry, the apple, the honey, and the tea in this can be a little bit sharp. So the other warmers with the Make Me Snickerdoodle, which is just a very kind of golden brown and somewhat deep bakery scent. It's not super sweet and it's not super cinnamony. It's its own thing that I am liking as a supporting actor to other more sort of precocious bars, which is exactly what we've got going on here. This was really, really good, and I will do that combination again. And that lasted very well, too. Okay, now, because I was filming a lot last week and I was emptying whatever warmer I had here and then changing wax to do something else and getting inspired, I have some sort of miscellaneous, wasn't doing it in the whole house, but it hopped in a couple warmers in a couple random places, and I know that I need to talk about it. Fall Feelin' I put in specifically to get in the mood to do my harvest haul last week. So this is my favorite new release bar. It just smells like fall. It's got the blood orange, the sugared cranberries, the juniper. That is the key for me. I love juniper in just about any fall bar or winter bar. It's absolutely delicious. And today the gremlins are in the back room. It happens to be my husband, if you can hear him back there. So then we also have Forever Fall. And this one, I think I was doing this in my new warmers, the Harvest Bounty and the Pumpkin Truck warmer, because I just wanted to try it out and I had a fresh bar of this from my harvest haul. This is a bar people, it's like to love or to hate with our Harvest 5 bar bundle that's current right now. And almost all of them are sold out at the moment. So if you're hoping to get this, maybe throw everything in a Scentsy Club or really look and watch. In October, they'll probably do a restock on all the sold out bars. But Forever Fall is a brown sugar and pumpkin scent that is sort of baked. It sort of has a squashy note. All the bars I've been getting, except for my very first one, the balance is good and I'm liking it. But for some people, there's just too much squash that got invited to the party. But this is just really nice and it's homey and it's got a nice heaviness to it that I am enjoying very much. I may even put that in my club. Another one that I was doing in a couple places was Good Old Autumn Road Trip. There just isn't a better bar. I think this is in the fruity category, but it's also very fresh. This has apple, it's got pear, and it's got silver oak, and it is just pitch perfect for early to mid-fall, and it just makes my heart happy. And then last but not least, very similar, Golden Garland. I had 4 cubes of this left, and I was doing this last night when I just changed a couple of warmers out. This is a little bit different than Autumn Road Trip, but very similar. This has pine and marigold, and I meant to go grab a catalog to figure out what other notes I'm not remembering in here. But it is fresh, outdoorsy, and fall, and somewhat sweet. Has a little bit of sort of a pine sap note in the background. It is really good. So I think this is another standout from our new 10 new releases, that if you enjoy other fresh, woodsy scents, and if you enjoy a little bit of sweetness in with all of that, you've got to try Golden Garland. It's great. So then another day I was doing kind of a split personality warm where I did an entire bar of salted caramel toffee, which is our current caramely scent in the bakery section. This is really nice. It just has a very laid back personality with a little bit of salt and nice gooey mellow caramel toffee. Very, very nice. And with that, I was doing Yankees pumpkin banana scone, which is definitely my favorite thing that this company has created in a long time. This is the most wonderful banana nut bread scent with a pinch of pumpkin. It is just delicious. So it was really good paired with the salted caramel toffee. And another day I was doing something similar where I was trying out this spicy sangria. I probably will not buy more of this one. It's just sort of okay. It's got a little bit of a kind of a fall spiced grape and juice note. It's all right. But like I said, I'm not going to get more. And then I was also doing Welcome Home in some warmers because I had 3 or 4 cubes left of this clam and a few cubes of walnut raisin muffin. And these two I love doing in alternate warmers or direct mixing in the house because it gives you, and I know that the walnut raisin muffin is retired, just this really nice, cozy, slightly muffin and raisin and bakery note mixed with very gentle cinnamon sugar that comes from the Welcome Home. So those are really good. And then I have a whole stack here of things that were going in different bedrooms, which the girls are doing pretty well, making a dent in things last week. Autumn Sunset, my younger daughter just needed 1 cube in her tiny room and it blew the windows out. If you're looking for best bang for your buck in our current catalog and you want an old school fall scent, Autumn Sunset is your bar. It is like a heavy autumn potpourri with lots of spices, pumpkins, and apples, but mostly I smell the spices, and to me it almost has a very deep mulberry or pomegranate background that's never in the notes, but that's what I get out of it, and it's really good. And this thing lasts for days. Excellent, excellent bar. My older daughter was doing a little bit of red pear and pomegranate. Now, you guys have not seen this on the channel in a hot minute. This is a bar that I don't even know how many years since they made it. It was a scent of the month, I believe. We had it in cleaning one fall and I loved it, but this is a really nice bar that I haven't seen back for flash sales or in any special bundles or in clearance. I would buy more if I could get it. It's a really good balance of sweet pear and tart pomegranate in a way where I could melt this any time of the year. It's really good in February and March for me. So these are my last 4 cubes. I won't cry if I never see more, but if they did ever offer this again, I would enjoy it. Next after that, I really enjoyed my last 4 cubes of my first bar of Dashing. I did 2 cubes and 2 cubes in my bedroom, very much like I set up Vanilla Barnwood. It went for 2 days. It was gorgeous. This is somewhat sultry, so it's definitely a bedroom scent. It's a boudoir type scent. I'm having trouble with my words today. It's something where maybe a lounge, that kind of an environment, this is perfect for that. Where you're not in a rush and you can just enjoy the creamy vanilla and the mahogany, and they say that there are like open air, fresh night skies. I don't really get a lot of freshness. I get warm, mellow, somewhat sensual, sultry goodness from this. It's so nice. So that was very good. And then here's my, wow, I'm so impressed this year with a bar that's an old bar that I normally don't get excited about, Melt for the Week. Apple and cinnamon sticks. I had about a half a bar of this left and then another bar that had been all beat up, and I melted them and stuck them together as one. And this was so good today. I had it in yesterday and today in the basement and my bedroom. I don't know what happened. It just might be the right weather outside. I'm in the right mood. This was fantastic. So it's got white pumpkin and cinnamon, apples, and oak. That's what's all in here. Usually I get too much cinnamon and too much oak. This time the white pumpkin and sort of a sweet mellowness from the apple was perfect. This is very addictive. I can see why some people think this is one of the best fall scents we have. This is the first time this has caught my attention, and I will definitely get more. Really good. So then here's one of those bars that I usually do not enjoy. Perfect Pumpkin Pear. My older daughter, this is behaving in her room. I don't know how. I'm just blessed that it is. So this has sandalwood and pear and pumpkin, and sometimes it gives me sort of a stomach acid smell. But it works here in her room, and she needed some freshening up in there, and there's just like a pinch of spice, but it's a sharp spice. It's not warm and bakery. I think there might be sandalwood too. All of that stuff has been making her room nice and fresh today, and I'm very happy. I think we've got one more clam to get through, and I'm glad it works for her. And then last but not least, good old honey pear cider, which I only have a few clams of because it's discontinued, and I've only been able to pick it up in sales. We've got to get this back for Bring Back My Bar, you guys. Honey pear cider is one of the loveliest scents, right up there with cider mill for me, but it's got a gentle pear note, really light spice, and a little bit of honey. It is the best bedroom scent. It is the best medium-sized room scent. You want to grab a cup of tea, a book, and a cuddly blankie to enjoy honey pear cider. So that is everything that I have been getting through. And I did want to say hello, welcome, and thank you to some new team members that joined my team this week. I am so excited for you guys to start your Scentsy journey. And I am really, really happy about all of the things that I got in my harvest haul. So if you guys have finally gotten your orders, I think Scentsy's starting to catch up on that backlog of orders, although I'm still waiting for my Starry Pumpkin, but we're not going to talk about that. I'm really happy. Let me know what you guys are really loving, or if there's a new bar that you really don't like, that's great to talk about too. So let me know what your loves or maybe your really strong dislikes are for the new things that are finally coming to our front door in September. Have a great day, guys. This is Elizabeth Quinn with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. God bless. Bye-bye.